How do you deal with setbacks? That is something that almost everyone runs across. And two things either happen, maybe three things. One, when you hit a setback, you decide, no, not going to go forward, and they quit. More's the pity on those. Two, you decide that you're going to keep pushing forward. And three, you also take a look perhaps at what isn't working and how you correct that so that the odds change going forward. Again, persistence is a fantastic trait, but you do not want to be like the fly trying to get through the window that's eventually just going to end up dead on the windowsill. You have to change some things. And in the case of the fly, maybe there's an open door, not where the window is, that they could have easily escaped. So think about that. One of the mentees I had that's been very successful wasn't always like that. He ended up getting 14 LOIs and had a direct mail campaign to his prospects that yielded 30%, pretty unheard of. Then during the COVID year, he ended up having 14 of those LOIs disappear, blow up, didn't go forward, businesses were closed, etc. Then he also had his letters that were performing at 30% drop down to zero for a year. Most people would have quit. They would have said, nope, had a good run at it, thought it was going to work, didn't work. That's it, I'm going to go do something else. To his credit, he did not. And he's now got 6 deals completed. He's got 15 or 16 locations. He's got an enterprise value that he could have dreamed about, and I suspect he did dream about it a couple of years ago. And as I said to him the other day when we talked, I've mentored him and worked with him for a long time. Not bad for a couple of years, is it? He said, no, not bad at all. And it really is only beginning in his case. So I asked him a question, and I wrote this down. I want to read it to you. Some insights from this. I said, you went a year with letters that were working, but then suddenly they were not working. LOIs expired or backed out. Banks backed out. But then things turned around. Why? And his answer is pretty insightful. There was no direct turning point that I could identify. All of a sudden, it just worked. On the one hand, I have the feeling that it went better when I was less dogged. On the other hand, I developed more of a I don't give a fuck attitude. Then it worked better. I would say it is simply persistence. Sometimes it goes badly and then great again. Just keep at it long enough for the good stuff to come. At the same time, however, you must not get the illusion that it will then always remain good. It is always up and down. That's the sales roller coaster ride. But that piece that he wrote in there, you should write that down and you should read that. Just keep at it long enough for the good stuff to come. And he changed his attitude so he wasn't begging. He approached it with much more confidence. And the results have proven out to show that approach, his persistence, all of that's paid off very, very well for him. So what can you do? One, I think what I see most often is focus, certainly, consistent action. There's absolutely no replacement for kissing a lot of frogs. And then looking at what is working, looking at what is not working, continue to test, do more of what is working, and eliminate or change what is not working. And stick with it long enough so that a good thing happens at the end. One of the things I would highly recommend to you, and I've mentioned this before, use the Ivy Lee method. Know where you want to get to, what your goal is, and then every night sit down and write down the things tomorrow that you want to accomplish. Write the time that you want to accomplish them in the day and focus on the most important things first. If you do that, if you read your affirmations, if you take consistent action and you're working on a plan that is sound and you've got the right team around you, the odds are that more often than not, good things are going to happen. If you don't know what to do and what the steps are, go over to brucewhipple.com. There's free classes, there's boot camps, There's a class I just did on outsourcing, which has been really, really popular. And for me as well, that was a game changer. Outsourcing in the Philippines, much less money than you would think it would be. But if you don't know what the steps are, go over there, brucewhipple.com, and grab the boot camp and follow those steps. There's templates in there, but following the steps is critical, and that is a reason I also see that many people fail. They want to jump to the end result and look for a deal without putting in the work and building the team around you. So I hope that helps. It certainly has helped for this mentee that I just talked about. As I said, he's had a great deal of success. He's had a great deal of setbacks. The two usually go hand in hand. And so keep pushing, work the plan, but consistent focus and daily action is critical to those that succeed.